How's it going right there, eh? It's Denis here from Denis Logia Outdoors. I'm at the off-grid cabin site. Someday this is where I want to put my log cabin. Yeah, so I wasn't gonna come out here today, but I forgot I had two Japanese walnuts left in my truck that I should have got in the ground probably a couple weeks ago. So I thought, all right, I better get in here and plant them so before they shrivel up and dry right out. So earlier in the day, I was right in there. That's where my corduroy road is, and that's as far as my cabin road is. So I actually just have to kind of come up through. Once I get through another 20 yards of soft stuff, I guess, after that it should be clear sailing, and then I just got to come into this way right here. So the plan is once I get my tractor through that bad spot, I just want to dress that road up a little bit so I can get in here, and I want to flatten this whole mound off right in here. Flatten it out, then I can get an idea the kind of the layout, the size, I guess. And I just want to get a good flat area that I can kind of drive in here, turn around, get good access. And then I'm hoping to do that this fall. And then down in that area over there somewhere, I want to put 4 cedar posts in the ground and build some type of outdoor kitchen type of thing with a roof. What I'm half thinking is I'm going to put like 4 posts, bury them in the ground. Hopefully I can get down deep enough. And then I want to practice, and I want to do maybe 3-4 feet high of dovetail notched logs. And then on top of that, I would rig up some type of screening. So what I'm hoping is someday I want to build a little kitchen out there with like a fire pit so that I can cook in there. It's screened in. If I'm out here working on the cabin, and I can have something kind of cooking on a fire, and if I have to get out of the bugs, it's screened in. I can get in and get some relief type of thing. I don't know if you can see way over on the other side of the lake. That's where the bridge is, where I come in at, and that's my little shack. And my cargo trailer, 31-foot cargo trailer, and that little shack has a wood stove in it, has a solar panel, a bed, a double bed, and it's on wheels. So my plan is I'm going to haul that once I get the road done, and I'll probably jam it in there somewhere in the woods. Then that way there I can come up here, there's no pressure, I have a place to kind of stay and hang out, and I can kind of work on my little cabin type of thing. Like I was saying in another video, at the starting of the road where my gate is, in the wintertime I'm going to cut all my logs, cedar logs, and I'm going to drag them across the lake, and then right up, and then with these fir trees I'm going to build some type of rack so that I can come right here with the logs, roll them on the rack, and they're up high, a couple of 3 feet up in the air, and they can dry, and then in the spring I can peel them. And then my plan is I'm going to pull my sawmill right in here, and then I can roll the logs off. I'm going to mill the 2 sides, which would be the inside, and the outside will be flat, and then the top and bottom will be rounded, left round, and that part is going to have a gap, and that will be chinked. So there'll be like 1.5 to 2-inch gap in between the logs, because the logs I have are cedar, and they taper quite a bit, so I'm going to have to constantly alternate fat end, narrow end, kind of back and forth, and then have a fairly large gap. And in between the gaps, I'm going to have, and I milled a bunch of 4x4 hardwood, and then I'll just cut whatever thickness I need. If I need 1.5 inches, I'll just cut a chunk off of this long 4x4 cant I have, and then the logs will sit on that, so that when they dry out and they shrink and settle, the gaps will never change. The gaps will always stay the same, so that your chinking doesn't fall out. Hopefully I explained that good enough. Anyhow, when I'm ready to do it, obviously I'll explain it. Anyhow, that's the plan. This is the lake. Last winter I kind of went and cleared out a little bit. I believe this big pine tree here is going to have to go. Obviously the canopy is going to be right on top of my roof, so I'm not going to want that. I'll come in here and dig all this out and push that over and then mill it, and maybe I'll use that and make a mantle or something for this cabin. A little bit of a breeze right now, which is kind of nice. Keep the bugs down. Horseflies are a little bad today. So my plan someday is I'll have like a little boat landing or launch right there into the main part of the lake. And then if it's really rough, I can drive right around with the boat and then keep it right down in here. So obviously once I get all this cleared out, I can kind of figure out exactly the layout, where I want to put. I'm assuming I'm going to put the outhouse over there somewhere. I'm not sure yet. The outdoor kitchen, I was just thinking just inside of those trees down there, but that might be too far away, so it might be a little closer, kind of around that big rock. And then down in there, that bog area, I'm going to kind of start making some raised beds. It's really wet. There's a lot of cranberries over on that end, but on this end here it gets a lot of sun. So I want to make some raised beds with like timbers, I guess, logs. Throw a bunch of old dead logs. I'm going to be cutting a lot of stuff in here. I'll throw it in there and then top dress it with some good material, and then I'm going to put wood chips on the top. That's why I've been saving a lot of wood chips. So someday when I'm driving in here, I'll haul a load with my dump trailer, dump it down there somewhere, and then pick it up with the tractor and then drive it and dump it in those areas, and then leave it for a couple of years when I'm ready to start with my gardens and stuff. Anyhow, that's a quick little update on the cabin area. If you think of it, like, share, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching. That's the end there, eh?